Mental health is in the shitter. I can't stop feeling selfish and guilty even though I think I'm in the right. Is my 29M26F marriage of 9 years going to survive? First time poster, forgive me if my formatting is terrible, my grammar sucks too. Also not even sure how to word this to get to somewhere that isn't incoherent ramble. The point, my wife and I have been together for 9 years, and I think she lost attraction, respect, and admiration for me 4 years ago when I fulfilled her wish manic beg, rather to become a stay-at-home dad and let her business she started become the primary income. She may even hate me for it. I have built up what feels like an unrepairable amount of resentment toward her in result, and am in an internal whirlwind trying to figure out what the reasonable way forward to not feeling like a sack of unwanted shit every day is. Background: when we first met we both had essentially nothing. We were obsessed with each other. I'd take the bus 3-5 hours one way to see her frequently, and after fixing a license mishap I'd travel even more often to her. Our intercourse life couldn't have been better really. We were kinky and sometimes would do it multiple times a day. High score at 12, sparkles, in cars outside of the apartments, outside behind the house on the patio, fun positions and oral. She was definitely the freakier one of the two, I would say. I once saw on her laptop during the first few months we were together that she watched gangbang porn and was into blood and BDSM act. I don't think she's still into the GB, or even watched porn since we've lived together. At least I haven't had any suspicions. Anyways, the good intercourse life, flirting, the admiring gaze from across the room, the horniness essentially lasted for about 4 years. In that time we moved states. She quit her job because she was sad there and I didn't mind because the state we moved to was cheap and I wanted there to be happy above all else. I didn't make much at all. I didn't have anything after expenses and occasional car maintenance, but again didn't care. She said she wanted to start a business making art from home, in which I supported her. A few months pass and we ended up pregnant with our first, which out intercourse life remained what I'd describe as healthy, albeit not the horny early stages. Of course being prego didn't bother me none. Things were great until about 6 months after the kiddo's arrival. Her business she started 2 years prior was taking off. She was working from home all the time, staying up all night, and saving all the money she made. I agreed and was fine with this. It was to buy a house and I didn't care to have extra personal money from if she were to chip in. Sex plummeted. She no longer approached me for affection intimately. She became stressed and overstimulated almost constantly. Texting me when I'll be home from work, getting shakingly angry if I had to work on a weekend or a little late. When the oldest got to about 2 years she asked me to quit my job and stay at home with the kids, so she could work more and the kid be better attended to. I figure I should mention that I've helped physically with the business since inception. I've packaged everything she sold and created all the shipping labels, and taken every package to the post office since forever, even when I was working, because she doesn't drive and doesn't plan to due to her being terrified. So I quit my job, and did what she begged me to do. It took some adjusting in the logistics end. I had no idea how on it you have to be to keep your house in order with kids running around and meals to always make from scratch, but after about a month I got the swing of it. Always taking kid to events and parks and whatnot. Definitely didn't get all lazy. And things just went downhill from there. Few months after I developed some internal confidence and insecurity issues, in result of her lack of drive wanted from becoming a stay-at-home dad. I mentioned these things to her, and she told me she thinks she is intimate. Which didn't make any sense to me given our previous years, and her past being with men and women, and her porn history I saw when we first started dating. She told me she was trying to impress me, and it was all a sort of show to court me. This messed me up upstairs for a while. I reached out to some Facebook groups anonymously, got mixed answers all the way from I need to do more to she's a narcissist, run away as fast as you can. I sort of worked through that for a while, had a few discussions with her that lead nowhere, eventually seemed to get over it. I repaired some of my confidence through hobbies, reading, I guess self-reflection, and felt somewhat okay for a while. She agreed to try and have intercourse once every other week, however it was always me approaching her, and often getting rejected 10x before the success, and that too has seemed to only get worse with time. I asked for therapy but we were saving for a house and she didn't agree to it due to the money aspect. I've asked for it multiple times since and have either gotten you can pay for it or it wouldn't work on you anyways. At about our 7-year mark we get pregnant again. No intercourse during pregnancy, but I didn't mind much being she didn't want it and it made sense she didn't being uncomfortable and such. Things haven't really changed since other than resentments piling up on both sides. It's been 6 years since my wife has approached me intimately. I feel defeated, unattractive, unwanted. The day-to-day interactions have become sour. I've tried really hard to be patient, understanding, supportive. I do all the cleaning, all the dishes, I clean up after the things she leaves everywhere and her silly quirks without a complaint or a fuss. She vents to me about her work and I listen. Even to this day I'd tell her she's beautiful and she is assured and 100% confident I am infatuated with her. But I don't think I can do this anymore. My heart feels too heavy, the rejection stings, and for the love of all things, what did I do to deserve this? I couldn't help but be curious a few weeks ago and check our condom box we got from Costco that we've had for 3 years. I counted 14 left out of 30. We had intercourse 16 times in 3 years. While not an empty number, given our last and our past, the thought if it hurts inside the chest. Each attempt running an Olympics of efforts to make the day just right and feel relaxed enough to want to. Thousands of rejections. I'm tired. I think I also have lost all respect for her outside of being a mother and running a successful business. She's a great mom. A great one. I hate the thought of splitting up the home and do love the 8% of my wife that still likes me, albeit seemingly as a friend that holds hands. I'm affectionate, I give her all of my time, I've supported her in anything she's ever wanted to do. I'm not an angry asshole. I rub and caress her, compliment, tease, would give up a career for the sake of her happiness, would let her stay at home and not worry about money for her happiness. I mean, I don't know what else to do, guys. I want therapy for starts, but I just don't think she'll go, and goddamn it, I don't want to give up, but part of me thinks that's what she wants. I want to feel wanted, not a burden. I want to know what it feels like to have a woman want me again. I'm not swole, but I'm lean, have broad shoulders, a six-pack, I don't smell. I've grown to somewhat hate the person she is after our role reversal, like it feels as if I discovered that her love for me is transactional, that she makes a terrible partner, lashing out under stress, resenting me for things she wants me to do, losing respect for me not being the breadwinner but somehow gaining none for assuming the role of household keeper parent. She doesn't support my hobbies and interests while I'd give up my entire career for hers. Eating my time for her business or me being too preoccupied with the kids' activities and events to not be home to do them, when I never once ever got upset when she fell back or dinner wasn't ready at a usual time. When I worked I'd help with the house on the weekends and do dishes. She's done dishes 4 times in 4 years and has never once rinsed a dish and often leaves milk perishables on counters, not that I ever cared until recent retrospection. She has had a wedding ring since we got married. It was sort of rushed, she wanted it for tax benefits that year, but we did intend and I did propose before then, and I have yet to still get a ring, even mentioning I don't care if it's a damn string, and I still don't. I mention these just because the hypocrisy feels like betrayal at this point. I want my wife that wants me back. I don't feel like I deserve this. I could be better, I'm sure of it, but I'm not sure if being better for her is better for me anymore. Thanks for any insight and advice. Don't even know where this was supposed to go or end up, I just needed to scream somewhere that isn't my head. Any advice is welcome. Thanks guys. Excuse the extra half a word in the title. Whoops.